Hello friends, Namaskara. Here we are with an exciting video from Auto Raja. In this video, we would be showing you how to change the engine oil of Thunderbird 350X. Before we go in, please don't forget to hit the subscribe button. So starting guys, let's see what all are the requirements. So beginning with, we are having a waste plastic cover. This is it. And we are having a basin. We'll be covering this to collect the drain oil. And this is the set of spanners, a funnel, kerosene for cleaning, a brush, and anabond, the gasket maker. And this is the oil that would be going into my Royal Enfield model 2.5 liters 15W50 grade, recommended by Royal Enfield. And finally we have a waste cloth. Okay, beginning with, we'll have to initially see what is the level of oil present in the engine, and as you can see, it is below the minimum level. And going to the under chassis, under the engine, you have this drain nut which had to be removed while draining the oil, and there you get another two screws that has to be removed. That is basically the oil filter, the mesh oil filter that is placed beneath the engine bay. This is the oil filter which has to be replaced. So you remove that cover and you get an oil filter which has to be removed. And yeah, like this is what you see, a plastic cover and the basin just to collect the drained oil. I'm just placing it beneath the engine, and here I'm using 20 mm spanner to remove the drain nut. I just loosened it and I'm just removing with hand. And as you can see, the engine oil is very black. That means this is actually the right time for you to change the oil. Now you can see the oil gauge, it's completely empty. And here we are planning to remove the oil filter which has to be replaced. I'm using an 8 mm socket wrench. I just loosened all the screws. I just have to remove it with hand now. So basically for every 3000 kilometers you are supposed to change the engine oil. So that is what Royal Enfield recommends. But here for me, in my case, I am changing it for every 4000 kilometers. I think that should be fine. And this is the spring locking system. Let me keep it aside. And there is a washer. Yeah, you see this washer, it's a washer that packs the oil filter, and I'm removing the oil filter using my finger, and you can see how dirty this oil filter is. It is normally supposed to be an ivory color paper inside. Basically for every oil change you are supposed to replace it. And you can see one more washer inside the housing. Now I'm cleaning it basically. Okay, let's go beneath the engine, and I'm here planning to remove the oil filter that's beneath the engine. So this is basically a mesh oil filter, and you don't have to replace it, you just have to clean it using kerosene or petrol. Nowadays getting kerosene is a bit risky, so you guys can easily get petrol. You can use petrol for cleaning it, which would be a bit costly. So you have some amount of oil left in there, you just remove it, and I'm cleaning all the parts that are removed using kerosene and a brush. I have cleaned every part, clean the drain nut hole and the filter holes thoroughly. And this is a new oil filter which I got from Royal Enfield showroom. This cost 113 rupees. So with the oil filter you get 2 additional washers. Either you can replace the existing one or keep it. As you can see, this new oil filter, it is ivory color inside. It's just a paper. That is why you have to replace it during every oil change. And these are the 2 new washers that you would be getting with the package. I would be replacing only one. The other one is already inside. I don't have to remove that. I will not be removing that. You can already see deep inside. I'm just placing the oil filter in the right position inside the housing, and followed by one of the washer. This washer I'm placing it basically on the closing cover, and you see the cover edges is covered with anabond solution. That is anabond solution which basically makes silicon tight gasket covering. It's high temperature resistant. I just put the anabond and I'm just placing it back to the place and tightening it with the socket wrench 8 mm spanner. Don't tight it completely, tight it just enough. And this is the mesh oil filter and the oil filter cover that we had got from under the engine. Here also we are planning to put anabond across the edges of the cover so that it makes a tight packing when we put it back under the engine over there. So you can see I have put the anabond solution across the edge of the oil filter cover. That's how it looks, and we are placing the mesh filter right above it, and the complete system would be going back to the position under the engine. I'm using 8 mm socket wrench to tighten the bolts. You don't have to tighten it completely, just tight enough. And this is the drain nut what you get, and this as well you are covering the edges with anabond solution. Once we have put anabond solution across, we are just putting it back to the place using a 20 mm spanner. Make sure that you don't hit your hand around the engine corners. Be safe. And to replace the oil, I'm just removing the oil lid. Here is the place where oil has to go in. I'm just keeping a funnel for dispensing the oil into the engine bay. And make sure that when you get the oil purchased, make sure it is tightly packed and it is having a seal. Let's remove the seal and unpack it into the engine bay. Now my engine has gulped nearly 2.5 liters of module engine oil, 15W50. This is the oil that is recommended by Royal Enfield, as you can see a sticker on the can. Once the oil is completely inside the engine, we will have to remove the funnel and close the lid, as you can see here what I'm doing. Make sure that it is tight enough. You don't have to use any tools, just use a bare hand and make sure that it is tight enough. And now you see the gauge. You can't literally see how much the oil is there inside. Just to see the oil level, I'm just starting the engine of my bike. So the engine is currently running, and now you can see the gauge. You just have to keep seeing the gauge, and you can see the oil level is pumping slowly up. As in this case, I have put 2.5 liters of engine oil. It is slightly above the maximum limit, but I think that should be fine. And now you can switch off the engine and see what is the level of oil in the oil tank. You can see it is full, and that is how we do engine oil change for Royal Enfield Thunderbird 350X. Make sure that the drain nuts and the filter nuts are not leaking. If it is leaking, you will have to take special care for it. Thanks for watching my video. You can see all the cost involved on this page over here. Please do like my video so that I can upload yet another videos regarding Royal Enfield and other cars and bikes as well.